Hi everyone, welcome to day 8 of our DSA series. I am Soumya Paul, a software developer at Expedia Group and a mentor at CodeGardos. And in today's video, we will see some more properties of arrays. I hope you have gone through our previous video of yesterday, and in yesterday's video we saw what are arrays in Java. How do we define them? How do we write them? What are indexes? How zero-based indexing happens in Java arrays? And how zero-based indexing helps us in storing and fetching data from arrays in just big of one-time complexity. Okay, so now in today's session, we will see some more few properties of Java arrays. Now, first very important property is that the indexes in Java that we have, they go from 0 to length -1. Okay, now for example, you have a Java array of length 5. Say something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the indexes will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last index will be length -1 is equal to 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Okay. Now the second property that I want to talk about is called as homogeneous arrays or homogeneity. Okay, so if you guys know JavaScript, you must have seen that in JavaScript, in arrays, in the very same array, you can store a number, you can store a string, a character, a boolean, a null, undefined, etc. Everything can be stored. That is called as heterogeneous, meaning in the same array, different data types can be stored. But in Java, the arrays are homogeneous. Homogeneous means that arrays are homogeneous. Okay, arrays are homogeneous. So this means that only and only one data type can be stored in an array. Okay, so I hope you know what data types Java have: int, double, float, long, short, byte, char, string, boolean. Okay, so if you want an array that stores integer, then you can only store integers. You cannot store double or byte or short or long or boolean or anything else. So once you define the array, once you define what data type will be stored there, only values of that data type can be stored in that array. Okay, let us write some code. So suppose I define an array. Say I have an integer array, int arr is equal to new int, something like this. Okay, so this is how I define an array. I'm saying that array, this is the variable name. Okay, so the syntax looks something like this: int arr is equal to new int, suppose 5. Okay, so this is your variable name. This is the variable using which you will access the array. This is the data type that it is saying that, hey, this arr is an integer array, and this is saying the length of the array. Okay, whenever you want to create an array in Java, you have to predefine the length, that its length will be 5 or 10 or 15 or 50, etc. Whatever, you can give any number. Okay, but it should be some positive number. So once you define that length, suppose you have written 5, you can only store 5 elements. You cannot store more than 5 elements. Okay, once you give a length, Java will create an array with indexes 0 to length -1, and then you can only store those many number of elements, not more than that. Okay, so here if I come, this is one integer array. Similarly, I can also say if I want to store byte data type, then I can say byte arr2 is new byte. Say its size is 7. If I want to store short data type, then I can say short arr3 is new short something 5. Okay, say I want to store long data type. Okay, suppose I want to store char, that is also possible. Suppose I want to store string. I can say string. Okay. Suppose I want to store boolean. Okay. So you can create arrays of different data types. A char array can only store character data. A string array can only store string data. A boolean array can only store boolean data. Okay. This is what we do. Now, how do we even take inputs? Suppose I want to take input. Okay. Suppose I want to take input. Okay. So what I can do is I can take an input. Now, I hope you know that for taking an input, we need to do something like scanner. Scan is new scanner, system.in, something like this. And then I also need to close my scanner. Okay, so that I don't want any data leaks. Okay. And if you don't know what scanner is, what class is, feel free to join us in CodeCurdos to learn these concepts in a much in-depth manner. So I'll take an input, scan.nextInt. Okay. So what I'll do is, I'll take an input that what is the length of the array? Length of the array. Okay. Now for this length, what I'll do is I need to also define my array of this length. So whatever length I input, I will create an array of that length. Then I will run a for loop, and then at every iteration, I will say array of I is scan.nextInt, something like this. Okay. So I need to give the input here. Suppose I say the input is 5, and then I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I run this code, it is running perfectly fine. Okay. I can try this out. Suppose I say print the third index. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, the third index will be 4. So if I run this code, the third index 4 will, oh, okay, my bad. Oh, sorry, here I need to say ARRAY. Okay, here I have created array, so I need to create ARRAY. I need to mention the correct variable as well. Okay, so now 4 is getting printed. Okay, so this is how you can create arrays of different types, and this is how you can take input of an array. Okay. So that's it for today's video. I'll see you all in the next video where we'll see some tricky, interesting questions about arrays, where we use some concepts like double pointers, sliding windows, etc. Okay, so see you all in the next video. And if you want to learn these concepts in a much more in-depth manner, then do join CodeCurdos.